Hello everybody, and welcome to my 100% walkthrough of Elden Ring by Level Up Pub Gaming. So, in the last episode, we made our way over to the Frenzied village in Liurnia of the Lakes, and this episode we're going to hopefully finish up Liurnia of the Lakes and make our way into the Academy of Raya Lucaria, our second legacy dungeon. So, here at the Round Table Hold, because as I said at the end of the last episode, I was going to go level up, so I went and I cleared the field over here. I'm just showing this just in case anybody's coming into the series this episode. I cleared this field twice, all the vulgar militiamen, and I go through a path to do that in a previous episode. And I went down here and I collected some glintstone fireflies, then went over here and collected some golden sunflowers, collected some foliage, mushrooms, row of fruit, and smoldering butterflies, then went over here and did the same thing up here. And then I went down into the Sophria River well depths. And I collected some melted mushrooms. Excuse me. And I'm recommending you do that as well. So every time I do this off screen, I recommend that you do it in your next gaming session before we continue, because we're going to need it. You're going to need all these items, so I took out a few turtles. We can make a few more. Pickled turtlenecks, but look at all this. 257. 331, 380, I have 424 mushrooms. I'm in the hundreds for poison pots. It's exactly where you want to be. This is what your inventory needs to look like moving forward into the game, so I recommend that you spend a good bit of time farming. And I took out 2 fields worth of guys so that we can level up 1 level, which I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to upgrade some weapons and buy some stones. So I believe last time we did Vigor, so let's go ahead and start working on Mind. And the next is Endurance.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
So for you, when you're upgrading your weapons, just pick your favorite weapons and upgrade them to as far as you can take them. For me, I'm kind of doing this a little weird because I'm going to be switching to different builds and going to be using different weapons, so I have a lot to upgrade. You guys won't, especially if you're sticking with one build. You guys shouldn't be rebirthing unless you absolutely are convinced that you picked the wrong class and you know what style you do want. But at this point, like, you should be pretty comfortable with whatever you're doing. And moving forward, if you want to change, it should just be out of curiosity. If you're still uncomfortable up to this point in the game, and you've done Stormveil Castle, and you really can't figure this game out still, then I'm completely impressed, because, yeah, by the time you get through Stormveil, you should be completely comfortable with your build, the weapons, whatever you're doing, whatever you chose to do in the game. You should be, well-versed at this point. So you should know which weapons of yours that you want to upgrade. Upgrade your favorite weapons to as far as you can. And don't pay attention to what I'm doing when I'm upgrading, because I'm trying to save smithing stones for weapons that I'm going to be using later. So for here, for example, I am going to take this up into the next ring with my smithing stone 3s. So I'm going to bring it up into where it needs smithing stone 4s. And I'm going to do that with Uchigatana too. And then after that, I'm going to focus on bringing up this staff. So when I find more smithing stone 3s, the next thing I'm going to upgrade after those 2 is going to be the staff, not my Clarmark seal, which I need for incantations. Because level 6, where it's at right now, is enough to get us up to where I'm going to switch with this. So that's why I recommend you don't pay attention really to how I'm upgrading your weapons. Just upgrade your favorite weapons that you like to the maximum that you can at this moment. Okay, so I think I'm going to wait to take this up any higher than 9. I'm going to take this up to 6. And then this is the next one to go up some levels, but I'm going to wait until I have 12 smithing stone 3s before I level it up any further, and then go ahead and start leveling up the moon veil, because that is what I'll be using as well when we get to that point. And everything else we can wait. I'm going to wait until we get the smithing stones so we can buy smithing stones 3 and 4. And then I'll bring all these up to the max level that I can. But what I find out in the world, I'm only using on weapons that I'm going to be using, you know, in the near future. That should be that. I'm going to get rid of any extra stuff that I have I don't need. So I don't mind keeping an altered one. So this says altered, means that it looks different, you know? So I always like to keep... That's a different one. These look similar, but they're slightly different, so I always like to keep one of each. Hey, let's see. I don't think we can upgrade any. Oh. Alright, Oleg. You're going up a level. Didn't realize I got a Ghost Glove Work 3. So there are some battles where it's useful to use the hawk, so I will be upgrading that too. And the jellyfish, because they'll be hovering above the ground and you won't be able to... They won't take any damage from bosses that hit the actual floor. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Fia and get another Baldekin's Blessing.
I am pleased to see you again. Would you like me to hold you once more? Now, come closer. You are so very warm.
Alright, so go ahead and click on Talk in Secret.
I was known as a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life. To do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace and chased from my birthplace. Pray, be kind. Despite all that, I still wish to be a deathbed companion. So please, let me hold you like this. As often as it takes. My dear, have you ever heard of Black Knife Prints? Dear Rogier likes to talk of them when abed, and the ancient plot, in which the first of the demigods was slain. The black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Rogier began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the black knife prints that fascinate dear Rogier so. But it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the round table hold. Perhaps you could make use of it?
So, this actually, it's kind of weird because it's not part of her quest. It's just part of Rogier's quest and Ronnie's quest. But for some odd reason, the information to find the item needed comes from Fia. So let's go talk to Rogier real quick.
Always good to see you say so. What do you need?
Oh, okay. We don't have his dialogue yet. We gotta wait until we find the black knife print, I guess. Let me make sure I got everything I have from him.
Well then.
Yep, so I got all the incantations. I got all the incantations from D as well. Yes. So I'm gonna start purchasing these rune arcs, just one at a time. I'll buy 5 pickled turtlenecks. I'll buy 20 beast bones. And I don't need any of the weapons. We'll read through this stuff. I'm going to make an episode after we do the Raya Lucaria, our second legacy dungeon, the Academy. After we do that, I will make an episode. Sorry, I'm just trying to think and play at the same time. I'll make an episode where I read through item descriptions and show off Ashes of War that we haven't utilized yet. I know previously I'd uploaded an episode before this that had that on there, so I'm gonna do it again. So we're gonna head over this way and fight this troll over here, and then we'll go collect the foliage around the rise, but we can't get into the rise yet until we get a certain gesture. So this is a magic troll. He's gonna shoot magic at you. Not sure if he can repost him because I'm not sure if he has a head or not. Yes, he does. Okay, so you can't repost him, but it's just like the boss that we fought in the Everjail. So come on up. Until he stomps, doesn't attack. Missed him. Ooh. There it is. It's like, why can't I? Okay, you can repost him. Start building up another stagger. Oop, he's got his magic on. He's a toughie. So I can't collect. Oh, yeah, guess I can't collect some royal fruit. Let's see if we can get any feathers. Oh no! Thought I went too far. Yeah, like I said, get the feathers very carefully and leisurely. Don't be like me and ride over faster than you should, because yeah, you will fall off eventually, and it will be embarrassing, even if nobody's around to see it. It's like, get items safely if you can. Don't go out of your way to get something if it puts you in danger. Let it go. It's not worth it. Alright, so like I said, we get a gesture after we finish the academy that will let us into this rise, as well as the rise that's in the southwest of Liurnia of the Lakes. So, can't go in there yet. Just grab the foliage around here and take off. Next, we're going to go clear out the Frenzied village, and then we're going to fight quite possibly one of the hardest NPCs, if not the hardest NPC in the entire game. He is a pretty brutal fight. He's actually who we were supposed to be. From what I've read, the original concept for this game was supposed to have a main character, and his name is Vyke. Oh, jeez, yeah, I forgot this is back here. So, I'm gonna come back here. Thought I was gonna fall off a cliff. His name is Vyke, and we were supposed to be him, but instead they decided to go with no identity and just let us be whoever we wanted to be. Just called us Tarnished instead and gave us no name. But we originally did have a name, and this NPC we're about to fight was who it is, but they switched him, so it's kind of an interesting little tidbit. Okie doke. So, looks like, yeah. So once you come down here, you either have to go down into, actually, man, I'm trying to decide if I want to do this cave first. Yeah, let's do the cave first. Might as well, since we're here. Or, trying to think. Yeah, you get down over that way. Okay. I changed my mind. We're going to do a cave. I take that back. It's Catacombs. But we'll go ahead and do that real quick. It's not too hard. We're going to want to put Holy on one of our swords because it's got a lot of skeletons in there. And there's 2 bosses. And one of the boss fights, again, is just kind of like us against 4 other enemies. Or 5, so pretty annoying boss fight. And the other one is a Black Knife Assassin, so if you've had troubles with those, I'm sorry, we gotta fight another one. Go ahead and drop on down here and sneak up and repost this knight. It's pretty easy to parry. You know, it's a knight with a sword, so you want to practice your parries. Get him in now. But this guy can teleport. He's kind of a spirit knight. So, yeah, he likes to teleport around stuff, so just be a little wary of that. He'll dodge your attacks by teleporting. Go up and repost him first. What? So if you notice right there, he swung through me and I took no damage. That's because my parry was so close to being on the right spot that it was enough to... Alright, I'll explain it after I'm done fighting him. One sec. Oh, so I took damage on that one. But, here, I'll explain it in a sec. So, when you parry, as you just saw there, it not only blocked his hit and pushed him back, but it negated all of the damage that his hit would have done to me. So instead of taking damage, nothing happened. His hit was knocked back, I blocked a hit, and I took no damage, and it staggered him. Now, when you parry... So when you parry and it connects, that's what will happen. But sometimes you parry a little too late or you parry a little too soon, but you're so close to the parry window that a little bit of the parry action still happens. And so when you miss it just by a fraction, what will happen is instead of them taking the stagger, it won't do that, but it will still negate all of the damage you would have taken. And sometimes you'll be just a little bit off and you'll negate just a little bit of the damage, but you still blocked a little bit of it out because you were so close. So that can happen when you're parrying. So if you parry and it misses, but you didn't take any damage, you're like, what just happened? You were so close, but you missed it by just like 2 frames. So just a little bit of tidbit. So let's go ahead and put some holy on our great sword. Sacred Blade. So we got a Black Knife Assassin. I'm going to show you how to parry the Black Knife Assassins in this one. Wow, this does not do as much damage as the big one. That's a bummer. Oh, duh. It's because I'm not upping my dexterity at the moment. It'll probably do more when I switch over. But this one is, let's see, 210, so 291. Yeah, this doesn't do as much at the moment as this one does, but this one's upgraded 2 levels higher. But this is the best halberd in the game. This, I'd say, is the second one. This one has blood loss, the only one that does, and I'd say the only reason that it's not as good as this one is just because this does more damage, way more damage. But I'll be using these a little bit when I go into the dexterity side, as well as the twin blade and the katanas. Alright, so... up my faith in this one, as well as put on the bubble tier, because the boss that we fight with the skeletons is another one of those cemetery shades that can hit you with the green bubble that locks you in place. It's very, very aggravating. So I'm going to switch the swords so that I have this one this side. Oop. Alright, let's get to it, guys. Got a skeleton coming up right here. Oh, whatever. And there's the boss door. Got another skeleton coming up down here. Actually got a few, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with Sacred Blade so he doesn't get backed up, and then we're gonna have a few guys come around the corner right here. Should be a random dude right there. Take him down, then come back over here, and let's open this fog door. And we'll have a couple skeletons in here to fight, too. Rosasak's skills with intelligence and strength, I believe, has a really cool Ash of War. Summons some skeleton spirits. Works best against big, heavy enemies. The Ash of War does. Alright, so be careful of these. They don't want to slam down on you. They will mess you up. Go ahead and Sacred Blade these guys. Dodge their arrows. Don't worry about going down there, because we're going to come up from that direction. What we're going to do now is we're going to head up there. So, wait till that comes down, hop on this, jump up. We got some enemies in here to fight. Don't forget to grab these. Very important for upgrading our spirit summons. Be a knight on a horse. Oh, maybe. Nope. Thinking of a different place. Sorry. Sorry, I get my dungeons confused sometimes. Anybody else? Nope, that's it. Alright. So, thank God we don't gotta fight those all at once. It'd be very annoying. Should be a couple more skeletons. Another one that pops up. Where you at, boss? Where you at? Come on. There you are. Alright, you guys. Time for the first boss fight. Now, I'm going to attempt to parry this Black Knife Assassin to show the parry patterns for her. Oh, and if you want, you can summon D, Hunter of the Dead, for this. So if you're struggling with it, go ahead and summon D and gang up on her. But I'm going to try and showcase her parry openings so that, man, I should have put Frost on my mace. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to try the Warhawk's Talon. I should have put some Blood Loss or Frost on it, but too late for that. And if that doesn't do too much damage, then I will switch to the Bloodhound's Fang. Okay, so let's give that a shot. Alright, so we got one coming up a little bit later in a field that's going to be really easy to parry because it's so open, and you guys will have a lot of space to dance around and stuff. So I'm going to try and showcase some of the parry openings now, so that way when we go to parry that one, we're just a little bit prepared and a little bit comfortable with it. So go ahead and don't be afraid to try and practice some parries on this, but instead of describing the parry openings, I'm just going to show you the parry openings so that you know which ones I'm talking about when I go to talk about them in the next fight. So, because their movement is kind of hard to describe, so let's go ahead and just, I'm going to hold off on the, whatchamacallit, and I'm not going to use my flask either. I'm just going to go ahead and buff up with this stuff. Oh shoot. Oh no. Just repost. Oh, I unlocked from her. I was wondering what's going on. I was like, why did that just happen? Can parry that, but you gotta be close to him. Oh, messed that up. That's a tricky one. Oh, messed that up too. See, I was close enough that it blocked out some of the damage from that hit. But it wasn't close enough to, but it wasn't on spot enough to actually do the parry, so blocked out some damage though. It's better than nothing. Alright, you guys. So go ahead and watch that a couple of times just to get the parry patterns down. And if you know, got done fighting her and you just used all your flasks and you're dead beat, you can go ahead and head on back to the site of grace, but you got to come back and fight through all the skeletons and stuff again. But study those parry openings, and we'll talk about them more when we go into the next fight. Otherwise, you know, like I said, summon Hunter of the D, or D, Hunter of the Dead. Apologies. And go ahead and just lay the smack down on her. But I will continue on and assume that you are back in the cave right here and ready to go down and finish the rest. So be wary, we got some crabs coming up, so pretty annoying. Go ahead and roll on down. And more skeletons too. They'll pop up as soon as we try and open this gate right here. So this is, I believe, the boss lever. Yes. Did you stop? No, more. Seriously, it's like a skeleton of a monkey just jumping around. Alright, so that was the boss lever. And then as soon as we open this one, a skeleton will wake up right here. Go ahead and give him a look fur. Now I'm going to switch over to the claymore on my main hand so that I can do Lion's Claw. Because we got some big crabs coming up in here. I want to just take them down as soon as we can. Nope. One down. Alright, so just ignore the tiny ones until we take out the big ones. Should be the last one. Grab the goodies. Okay. Don't think there's any more. Should be safe. Just take out the little crabs. Oh. Flying all over the place. Alright, now this is the path that we would have gone down next to those chomping guillotines. Oh. His wind-up was so long that I had enough time to do Lion's Claw. Yep, okay, and so, right here, see the guillotines? So this is the path that I said we're going to come up from, so go ahead and just safely traverse the room here. Don't get chopped up, because these do some serious damage. Might actually one-shot you at this level, I'm not sure. Yeah, you just don't want to get hit by them. Now we can head on up and do the boss. And I'm going to go sit at the side of Grace real quick. You only got one skeleton between here and the boss room, so go ahead and take him down real fast. So we're gonna come in, summon our knight immediately, and we're just going to ignore the skeletons, try and dodge them the best we can, and head directly for the cemetery shade and start hitting him with holy. Once the cemetery shade goes down, the rest of the skeletons will go down, so we don't gotta worry about them. So I'll make just 2 holy pots. Actually, I'll just make 1. That's really probably all we need. Holy pot. Okay. Shoot. Shoot, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Dang it. Punk. Man, that was way messier than I thought. That's probably how it's gonna turn out for most of you guys. Having to battle through the skeletons to try and get to the cemetery shade. I was having trouble getting locked onto him, kept moving around to the skeletons, so let's go ahead and grab our death root and then we'll go see Garok. And that is the end of this Catacombs. So we got a few story things to do. We're gonna go talk to Rogier, and then Fia, and then go see Garok. And we might have to fight Garok. And this guy's back if you want to farm him for his shield and sword. Grace is right here, so it's a good place. This guy, he drops a great sword just in case you want to use a great sword, but you're on the dexterity side of things. These knights drop a great sword that scale in dexterity, and it's pretty good. So go ahead and farm them if you need to. I'm gonna sit down and heal up, and then we're going to head to the round table hold. Still gotta get something out of there, so I'll leave that there. All right.
Always good to see. So,
This is a black knife print. I can scarcely believe you managed to get your hands on this.
you recall our conversation about the Night of the Black Knives, yes?
They say the assassins who carried out the deed were scions of the Eternal City. A group entirely of women, arrayed in armor of silver under cloaks which fooled the eye. The knives they wielded, though, were imparted with the power of the Rune of Death through sinister Rite. Please, I beg of you, lend me the knife print for a time. I'd love nothing more than to tease out its secrets. Though only a fragment, a very specific ritual had to be performed to impart the power of the Rune of Death. Traces of the one who performed the rite are sure to remain in the imprint. Half my body has been suffused with death. I'm certain it will help me see.
Okay, so now we're going to restart the game.
Ah, my examination is complete. Here's the knife print back, with my thanks. Now I have a fairly good idea who performed the rite upon the blade. The person who orchestrated the Night of the Black Knives. Lunar Princess Rani. One of the children born to King Consort Radagon and his first wife, Ranala. Demigod and sister to General Radahn and Praetor Rykard. Hers was the name I discovered in the imprint. Truly, you have my thanks. But if I might be so bold, I would like to ask something more of you. If Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destined death somewhere upon her flesh. I would like you to procure it for me. And then all will be laid bare. I will have the answers I have sought for so long. I have some idea of Rani's potential whereabouts. There's a manor to the north of the Academy of Raya Lucaria. It is the familial home of the Carian royals, from whom Rani descends. There's been talk of the old royals' vassals gathering there in recent years. Rani's whereabouts since the shattering are a well-kept secret. She hasn't been seen even once, but I suspect she might have returned to the manor in which she was born. I'm afraid there's something I must tell you. Do you know of those who live in death? The very notion of life in death defies the Golden Order. By Dee's account, these defiled fiends must be expunged. But truth be told, I seek the curse mark to save them. You may find this peculiar, but I discovered something in my examination of the Night of the Black Knives. These souls have committed no offense. They have every right to life, only they happen to touch upon a flaw in the Order. Yes, indeed. If Dee knew what drives me now, he would surely boil over with rage. Or perhaps he would even feel some pity. But no need to fret. None of that will come to pass. I can tell a good lie when I need to.
I think that's...
If Lunar Princess Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destiny. Would you be willing to procure it for? She may have returned to the royal Kari.
Sorry, so it's the same thing. I've got all the skills from him, so that's as far as his quest goes for now. See if D, I think D might have. Okay, just checking to see if he had any more, whatchamacallit, dialogue.
Greetings, are you here for...
Oh. Got a ghost glover before, okay. Or grave, I thought it was a ghost. Bummer. Oh no, we did get a 3, okay.
I am pleased. Would you like the blessing? Would you like... Now? You are so. I heard that you lent a hand to dear Rogier. He seemed positively elated. He must be possessed of great mental fortitude. It anchors his will and sustains him, despite his grievous wounds. You truly are a champion. To dear Rogier, and myself too.
This is a talisman that I'll describe later.
Good day to you, my dear.
It just, it keeps you from losing runes, but you will lose the talisman upon your death. But your runes will stay, though. Hence the name Sacrificial Twig. Now, if we go sit back down at the Grace, I think she'll have one more line of dialogue that we gotta get her to. And then we're gonna stop her quest until further notice. Do you have any dialogue? Nope, okay. Sorry, I'm just getting a little confused on the dialogue boxes and when they pop up and what triggers them. So let me see one more thing.
I am pleased. Would you like a blessing? Would you like to be... Now? You are so. Then good day to you.
Okay, so she doesn't get a dialogue yet. I believe we have to progress Rogier's quest a little further. But come back here to get the Baldigan's blessing. As I said, as long as we have on buffs for our health, it really won't make much of a difference. And then you can just keep it in your inventory to use before you go into a boss fight to give you a boost in poise for the battle. It helps more in PvP, especially when you're fighting against smaller enemies that can have fast attacks that might knock you out of an attack animation. But eventually she's going to get to a point where she's going to ask you about a knife. And she's going to ask you about the owner of the knife. Do not click on that dialogue. So if you go to Fia to get a Baldachin's Blessing and she says there's an option to ask about a weathered dagger, do not click on that. We're going to leave that all the way into the next landmass. And then once we get into the capital of Lindell, we will then, at that point, progress her quest. And then she's going to disappear. We won't be able to get any more Baldachin's Blessings. So I just want to keep it so that we can get those all the way up into the capital of Lindell. So her quest is pretty much as far as we're going to go for now. So let's go ahead and head back on over to the Frenzied Flame outskirts. Now we're going to take on that NPC that is none too fun. Oh, actually, I apologize. We're going to go through this town first. Apologies, I need to take the holy off of my sword real quick. Get some frost on it. And in the next episode, once we go through the Academy, we're going to be able to put ice on any of our weapons, regardless of what the Ash of War is. Well, I mean, as long as it's one of these. Like I said, we get whetstones that allow us to make these gray ones up here have different affinities. So it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, let's undo that. Let's put on Wolf of Radagon. Alright, let's get to work. Got a bunch of frenzied enemies in here. And guards. You're going to want to fight them on Torrent, most likely. There's a bunch of them, and they'll group up on you pretty quick. We're going to take down these Colosseums by the end of the episode, so... Let's see, I think down over here is the, Erdtree Avatar, right over there. We're going to take him down too. There's the church, and down over here, I believe, is where the Catacombs are. Just check for any foliage real quick. Yeah. Need that. We're gonna get a really awesome incantation. Oh yeah, we got some stuff over here you wanna make sure we grab. A lot of revenants, but none of them are big revenants, so if you want to take them out, you can. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry about them. Just to save time, I'm going to leave them. Not worth it. Alright. So we're going to get some items coming up that, are like Frenzied Flame items. It'll say like a Warming Stone for Frenzied Warming Stone. Those are healing items, but it's for only people that have been touched by the Three Fingers, which is the ending that I'm actually going to do for you guys. But until we get to that point, those stones will have no effect on you, so don't use them. It only works if you've been touched by the Three Fingers and the Frenzy Flame is applied to you. Then it will work. So we can use frenzy spells without using being touched by the Three Fingers, but the Three Fingers, as we'll learn from this note that we just picked up right here, it locks you into that ending, and there's only one way to get out of it. So because of that, I'm going to do it for you guys, because a lot of people, I know that I was at least uncomfortable the first time I went through this game, starting the Frenzy Flame thing, just in case I get locked into it, because there's so many other options for endings that, if you decide, no, I don't want to do this one, I want to see a different one, it's too late. So I'm going to do it for you guys, so that way you don't have to go through that. And then, if you want, in later playthroughs, you can choose to do it. The Frenzied Flame ending is one of the achievements, so if you want to get 100%, you do have to do it. Ooh, ow. Watch out, not only do these guys have magic items that they throw down and stuff like that, but they, see, have Frenzy Flame, so be extra careful. Oh, gosh. Gotcha. Ooh, ow. like I said, I wouldn't hop off to fight these guys. I'd remain on point. It'll just make things a lot easier. Because they got a lot of nasty magic they can hit you with. Whoa, watch it. No. Alright, that should be it. So yeah, I will I'll be doing the Lord of Frenzy ending for you guys. That is the ending I will be choosing. Plus, honestly, I think it's the coolest ending in the game. Next to Ronnie's. Ronnie's is the second. But with the other endings, none of them lock you in like the Frenzied Flame ending does, so that's why I'm going to do it. So that way you have options. You don't have to stick with just one ending. The same one that you're going to see me do, so because I will showcase the ending too. Oh, yeah, got some rats. Remember, these crystal buds are super important. Pick up every single one you see. Go out of your way to get them. Got some big rats coming up, so that's what we got the lion's claw out for. Just going through here carefully because the invader's coming up, and I just want to make sure there's no rats around that are going to jump into the fight too. It's always annoying when you're trying to fight a boss or an invader on the open map and a bunch of enemies or squirrels or sheep get in the way. Alright, so the invader's up here, so let's go ahead and buff up. Remember, no summons for invasions. It's just us. Oops, do that. Do that one. And then this one. Alright, buddy. Let's get to it. It's like I said, this guy's no joke. Don't be ashamed if you go down to him. See all the bloodstains here? He is pretty tough. Oh, there he is. That frenzy builds up all the way. It's going to do a chunk of damage just like Frost or Bleed. Try to heal. So yeah, don't be ashamed if you go down to him. He is very, very tough. I mean, you saw how much HP he just had. For that, we get a Fingerprint Grape and his Vyke's War Spear, which is one of the best great spears in the entire game. So, does Madness build up? Really, really good damage output in that jump attack you saw him do where he slammed down and a bunch of flames spit up. That's the Ash of War for that spear. So, very, very good spear. Might actually use it a little bit later. Go ahead and pick up this armor set from the Finger Maiden. Grab the Grace and the Sacred Tear. We'll sit on down, heal on up. Remember, don't ever wait for the flask. As soon as you get an upgrade for adding a charge to your flask or Sacred Tear, immediately just apply it. Nothing to wait for. Not going to sell those, or there's no special items you can trade it in for later. Just immediately upgrade as soon as you get it. And then, of course, as always, come around the church, check for any special foliage like this. Church of Inhibition's done. Got that down. So we're going to go ahead and come on down this hill. We're going to grab an insanely good incantation. It's going to help us a lot with long distance fights. And then we're going to be a little bit sneaky and hop down here. This cliff is supposed to be a dead end, but I found a little edge where we can jump down, take a little bit of damage, so that way we don't have to, because the game really wants us to come up into this area from down below. And if we do, we will get sniped by some archers. So we're going to circumvent that. Be a little cheeky. Not only will it save time, but it'll save us a headache of having to run past all these guys shooting magical arrows at us. Let's go ahead and talk to this just for some lore. Ah, Lord Vyke, it seems that you were no lord, after all. Then where is he, our true lord, our lord of frenzied flame? We beg of you, incinerate all that divides and distinguishes. Ah, may chaos take the world. And that's what we're gonna do. Don't worry, buddy. Your wish will come true. So there is the incantation we want. But unfortunately, it is surrounded by jerk rats. So we got to go ahead and see if we can get them out here to come towards us. Dang it. All right, let's go a little bit closer. There we go. Come on, buddy. Come on. There you go. Oh, oh. That wasn't cool, dude. Don't do that. So that's the only big one over there. The rest are just small ones. So let's go ahead and just see if we can snipe them. Dang it. Ooh, yellow ember. Thinking about just running in and smashing the ball. Got it. Okay. So this incantation is just too awesome. Way too awesome. It is pinpoint accuracy. It goes an insanely long distance. And it does madness damage to humans and fire damage. And it is just an absolutely awesome incantation. I'm loving it in my faith and dexterity build that I'm using it with. So very, very useful for us faith characters. If you're not using faith, you know, you got the glintstone shards on the intelligence, and you got you know, bows and arrows and bolts for anybody that's doing just like a quality build and isn't using much magic. Now down over here on this wall there's an item, but before we get it we're gonna come up over here because I want to show you where we're gonna come down at. We're gonna come down, there should be a graveyard over there, we'll grab all that stuff, and then we're gonna jump down right here. So first, let's go. Looks like one of those flowers saw me. Let's go grab this item, and then we'll come back up from the town. So just carefully jump down onto here. Oh. It's like I felt like it was going to fall off. So I'm not sure if this is a safe distance to drop down from here, but you can give it a shot. But either way, we're going to come back up and grab that item when we come down from in there. So go ahead and jump down here again. Just ignore the village because we already cleared it out. Oh, crystal bud. Get every crystal bud you see. The shield grease, man, it makes such a big difference. You might be able to use some shield magic if you have if you're an intelligence build and you have that magic shield spell, use that. It is incredible. Negates extra damage. Lasts a long time too. Especially for a buff spell, so very good duration, but the shield grease is just like a tiny bit better. Unless, of course, you're like a high level mage. Your intelligence is like 70 and you got on some talismans that buff the spell, then it might do better than the shield grease, but aside from that, the shield grease is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's going to help us get through some late areas of the game. So don't bother fighting any of these flowers. They more trouble than they're worth and don't drop much. When we get perfume bottles and you want to get the materials to make the poison perfume bottles and some other stuff, this is a good place to farm, especially when you're higher level and you can come back and just take the plants out in a few hits. Very good place to farm for those materials. So careful in this place, you might get poisoned. Actually, I think it's rot. I think these guys spit out rot. Or no, it's Frenzied Flame. It's interesting. Either way, don't want to get poisoned or hit by the lightning. It hurts. Just grab all the runes, we'll take off. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go take down this mausoleum. So right here, we can drop down, and we won't die. But you have to be on torrent, because if you're not on torrent, you will most likely take more damage than you should. See? Took a chunk, but we lived. And now we don't have to go up the other way. We can just come over here and take this guy down. So this one, the skulls are on the feet. Interesting tidbit. There is actually a time of night where these things will take a nap. It has to be late into the night. I think it's like you make it nighttime and then you wait about 20 minutes. And these things will... Oh yeah, they jump. I forgot. These ones jump just for fun. So be careful of that. Forgot about that. But yes, these... Oh, no. These things will take a nap from time to time, and they'll just completely stop moving and stay still. The first time I saw it, I thought my game was glitching. And I went ahead and reset the area and sat it to grace, and then it started moving again. But, yeah, for some odd reason, they have a time where they take a nap at night, and they stop moving all around. Oh, jeez. Come on, go down. There it is. So like I said, remember, you don't want to be anywhere near these things when they bury themselves. It does have a little shockwave that it pushes out, so come on down here and grab this grace real quick. And we'll head on back up here. So I just want to show you what these things actually do. Also, there's a talisman over here that we gotta grab real quick. We'll just do that real quick. I believe this is our first immunity charm of the game. I think. I really should be looking at my notes before I get into these episodes, but yeah. So come on down here. There might be a guy. Nope, okay, there's not. But there's some lilies and then a talisman. Grab that. Yep, okay. So I believe this raises our immunity a little bit, and then we'll find higher versions of it later in the game. Or it might be robustness. Let me check. Yeah, robustness. Okay. So blood loss and frost. It will keep you... it'll help you from getting procced with those things. But we'll find more charms like that in the game that help with status effects. And we will need those charms and some armor that help with status effects when we go into even more poisonous and rotten areas that are just absolute nightmares to deal with. Go ahead and open this up for y'all. So remember, we've beaten a boss with a remembrance, so now we can actually use these. So you come in here. Now remember, like, I cracked that remembrance and sold it, so I took the 30,000 runes from it to level up, because I wasn't going to use the weapon or the spell. But let's say I took his axe, right? Godric's axe. But I also wanted his fist, his dragon weapon. Then I can come here, and if I still had it, I forgot, once you crack it and use it, it's gone. So you can't come in and duplicate it. If you want to duplicate a remembrance, you have to have it in your inventory, or you have to have used it to get the weapon, then it'll be here. But if you use it for runes like I did, then it will not be here. You cannot duplicate it again. So I apologize, I forgot about that. However, if I still had it, it would be here, and then it would let me pick the other option. You can't pick the same option twice. So I can't get 2 of his axes in one playthrough. Let's go ahead and sit down at the Grace. Just heal ourselves up real quick. And then we'll go fight this Erdtree Avatar. So for him, I'm gonna go ahead and use the I'm gonna use the scythe with some blood flame on it. Actually, I might use those on the bear coming up, so. Can you use that on the... Okay, we're fine. Haha, just kidding. Guys probably like, what is he doing? Just trying to figure out what I need to make for this boss fight. Sorry, guys. Need some fire pots, because they love fire. It's their favorite. Okay, so before we actually fight the Avatar, we gotta take out a few of these. I'm not really sure what they're called, like Beastmen? These guys. I don't think we fought these guys yet. They're a little bit like the trolls, or the, I'm sorry, the omens that we were fighting in the dungeon a couple episodes ago. Just go up, repost them. They actually, their armor set is really cool. I like their armor set. Oh, you heard that. I thought these guys were far enough away that they wouldn't hear it when they... I think he didn't hear the repost, but he heard me swing at him after I reposted him. But these guys are far enough away that we can take them out one at a time. And then we got a bunch more over here that we gotta take out. Wonder if I should have put on that new incantation that we got. Oh, I can't use it yet. 22 faith, darn. So I need to level up my faith 3 levels before I can use this. I might actually do that. Actually, if I cracked a rune arc, I could use it right now, but I'm still gotta wait on my rune arcs. And you don't have to. Go ahead and crack a rune arc if you want to use it. The reason I'm doing it is because there's some fights that I'm gonna showcase where I'm gonna die, so that I can show you how to fight it and then show you how to fight it with summons. I'm going to do it once without summons and then once with summons. So these guys are going to charge at you. Oh, I get a swipe instead. But they'll charge up, and it's a pretty long charge. And if it catches you, it'll skewer you and throw you up in the air. So you don't want to get charged by these guys. Just want to hit him, get him aggroed over here. So he's going to turn his horns on, then turn around and come at you and see if he does the charge. Yep, there it is. So you don't want to get skewered by that. It will do some seriously disturbing damage to you. So just keep your distance until they do it and then run in and jump and attack them. But we don't want to get too close because we don't want to anger the Avatar. Oh! Yeah, they got some poise too. So just be... Oh, there's another one right there. Yeah, there is. Darn it. I'll only have one more. Man, that's some damage. What in the world? There we go. Arrgh. Just for fun, I'm gonna take this one on all by myself. Close. Oh no! Wow. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right. That's right. For that, we get a couple of boosting tiers for lightning damage, holy damage, and magic damage. Then we'll get the other ones from some other avatars later in the game. So, good avatar to take down because we can use those coming up. Yeah, those guys are fun. I like fighting them. Okay, so down there is the path that takes us to the catacombs that we've already cleared, and it's just guarded by a giant rune bear, so nothing really even in there to get. There might be some foliage, but not worth it because the rune bear is a pain in the butt. So we're just going to ignore it. Just looking for any other foliage that might be around. Hey. Alright. Now, there should be a corner up here somewhere that we were looking at with the rats. Oh, it's up there. That's right. Oh, we gotta go to the Frenzied Flame Village, that's right. Okay. Let me go back over there so I can grab those items real quick for you guys. Because I forgot to do that. It's where all the rats were. So come through the village. Ignore all the guards. And we're getting close to a level up. They'll get all spicy and angry, just ignore them. Where was it? There it is. Ow. Thought I'd hit the big one, but missed him. What? That's absurd. There we go. Aw, I was hoping he dropped me a rune arc. Yeah, so, no, yeah, I don't think he can drop down from here. Pretty sure we'll die if we try. Maybe. Oh. Alright, so I guess you can get down from this way too. Let me see. I'm going to give it a shot if I die right here. I'm just going to throw a rainbow stone, see if I can survive. Yeah, you can. Alright, so I guess there's two areas you can jump down to this from. Behind that wall with the rats, or the other place that we jumped down from, up over there. But come down this way. Just want to show you the area and the layout so that you don't go the wrong way and don't get attacked by this rune bear that we're going to hit with arrows. So we already came down from there, went around here, collected the foliage. But if you come down, you'll see some wolves and a path leading down that way. So we're gonna come down this way from a cliff because inside there is a rune bear guarding some arteria leaves, but we're going to shoot the rune bear from a safe distance on top of a cliff so that we don't have to deal with that nonsense. Because we still got more rune bears that we're gonna fight fair and square coming up in the game, so any chance we get to take one down in an easier way, we're gonna take it. So he's down in there. That's where he is. We're gonna come through here. We got our talisman. Just drop down on through here. We'll come up. That's where the site of grace was, up there. We'll take this one out, which also is a jumping one, so be very, very careful. In fact, I think he's going to jump. Yep. Dang it. Oh no, 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 no. Oh my gosh. Oh, you suck. That was freaky. You can also do it this way. A lot safer. Boom. Is that it? Yep, that's it. Easy peasy. So I, of course, only open these up if I'm actually going to use them, so I'm just going to bother open this one up. And just get them in the ground so they stop jumping around and making noise. Alright, so we got to be careful because we got some guys that can shoot us around here. I actually have to do some fighting. Just more of those goat dudes. You can hear them kind of stomping around. Oh, we can't make it up there. We're about to get a really good shield too. Small shield. There's another side of grace. Going through here. Okay. We're gonna come back for the room bear. But right now we're just gonna make our way through here, grab a shield, and fight some of these guys. So take this guy out on the bridge, because oh no. If he sees you, he will hit you with magic arrows that hurt a lot. So will this guy. Ooh, that's close. Oh shoot! So that was the guy that was right there. So yeah, if we came up the other direction, we'd be getting shot by these guys. And their magic arrows suck. They do so much damage and they're so fast. It's like almost impossible to dodge it riding on Torrent. You just gotta zig and zag as you're coming up here. It's not fun, so we're doing it from the back as we always do when we go through a camp and stuff. That's more over here. Wow. You guys are so lame. Now it's your turn. Oh my gosh. Oh, I ran out of stamina. That's why stamina is important, guys. In case you saw it right there, I just stared at him. I was smashing my attack button, but I just stared at him because I was out of stamina. That's why stamina recovery and having a good endurance bar is super important in this game for that situation right there. I almost died because I could not attack or could not do anything else. There should be a few more. We're going to go up there and get that shield in a second. Just going to clear out any more that might be around. Grab a few items. There's one down here. Careful of the rune bear. Don't want to run into him. He should be up here somewhere, so just be extra careful. So, just to show you where we are, we're just clearing all of this out. going in through here, clearing all this out, and that's where the room bear is that we're going to snipe from a ledge. So we're just grabbing all the goodies. There's a couple of items, but we're not going up towards the catacombs because no point in fighting the room bear up there. Should be up this way though. You can hear the ground. Oh god, he saw me! No! Oh gosh. No, no, no. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so be careful. That's where he is. So, no point in fighting him. He's not guarding anything special. And that just leads us up to the catacombs we already took out. So let's go back up and grab that shield. This way. Because that shield, for some reason, actually acts as a buff to our immunity stats. So you put that shield on and it takes you more hits of poison to get poisoned and stuff. Punk. Alright, now this direction will just take us to the Church of Vows with the Turtle Pope. So, no reason to go this way. I'm just showing you where it is. Just give me a view. There we go. So, Church of Vows, up over that way? Yeah. So, right up on that cliff, we've already been up there. I came down, showed you these guys earlier, and I was like, we're not going to go that way because we'll get sniped. So that was in the last few episodes, I think. But we'll go ahead and make our way back towards that shield and the rune bear, and then we're going to go fight a Deathrite bird. And then we are done with Liurnia of the Lakes for now. We got a few other things we could do, but we're going to wait. That's the shield that we want to get, so let's go on up and grab it. Oh, where'd it go? Goes over this way. There it is. Boom. Awesome, awesome shield. Good for parrying too. Small shield, good parry frames. And then we'll get some Ashes of War that'll make it even better later on. Punk. Dang it, can't roll in time. Alright. That will lead us down into the woods with the rune bear, but we're not going to go that way. I'm going to come over here and shoot him from here. So get out your bow and get out your poison arrows, because we're going to poison him up. It's going to take a sec. What's up, buddy? You're a big boy, aren't you? Who's the big angry bear? Who's the big angry bear? Is it you? Now go ahead and pull out some kookeries too and give him some bleeds. But I'll go ahead and use poison arrows to I think he's got a breath attack that can hit you, so be careful. But we'll go ahead and try and get a bleed going on him. But he should not be able to hit you from here. Come on, bleed. There it is. Yeah, go ahead and throw some kukris, that'll speed things up. And one more. Done. There we go. Now it's safe to go on down. There should be a group of arteria leaves around here somewhere. Or I think it's what the item is that he's guarding. Yeah. No, there's a lot of bear poop around. Alright. Just grabbing any good foliage you see. And I'll show you how to take down that Colosseum. And then we'll fight the Death Rite Bird. Head into the Academy of Raya Lucaria, our second legacy dungeon. Which I'm looking forward to getting over with, because it's a big milestone in the game. I feel like after I'm done with my second Shard Bearer, and sort of like, I don't know, just kind of like, yep, I'm deep into this game now, and I'm gonna finish it with this character kind of feeling. It's like a past a point of no return kind of deal. Alright, so in order to get down onto that one, we got to go down to the grace that's over here on this bridge. So go ahead and tell that we are done with this area. Go ahead and take that down. Took out the Erdtree Avatar. Alright, so everything around here has been cleared out, you guys. Let's go ahead and take this thing down so it stops ringing. And I'll show you guys how to fight a Death Rite Bird, which are so annoying. Can't stand these guys. Just like a Death Bird, only worse. Much, 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 much worse. This is it. We literally have to wait right here for this thing to come all the way over here. Oh, I thought it was nighttime and it was taking a nap. And then once it gets to a certain point, we'll hop down. Oh, maybe it's not this one. See what they say. Left. Okay, yeah, so not this one. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, wow. It's a mushroom you can't grab. It's interesting. Let's see if it's this one. I'm not sure what that means. Speaking of messages, let's check ours. Oh, not doing too bad. 1330 and 3. So like I said, don't be afraid to write messages because, you know, and useful messages will get appraisals more than just random ones or jokes. And they will help you. You know, it'll give you a full heal, maybe in the middle of battle, who knows. So, right about here, it's the distance you want to be at. And then just literally going to wait until it walks its big old self all the way over here. Which, don't worry, I'm going to splice it out until it gets all the way to me, and then we'll continue the video. Alright, you guys, so I waited a good, like, probably 4 or 5 minutes straight for it to get all the way over here, and it's still at a questionable distance, but I'll give it a shot as soon as it steps right here. So you gotta wait until it gets super duper close. It might look like it's going to walk away, just be patient, and then wait. And then once it gets up to a certain distance, do a double jump on Torrent, come over here and start whacking off all the skulls. And then it'll eventually drop. Oh, that's it. Okay. So come over here, get next to the tree, just for safety. I'll stick next to this because it's going to drop down, and if you're too close to the edge, it'll push you off and then kill you. So go ahead and ride it on. See how far back that pushed me? So that's why you want to be all the way up against the edge a bit, because that would have pushed me off, and then the rest of it would have crushed you. But now we're back down on the lake. So let's come over here and fight this Deathrite bird, which I'm not looking forward to. Just want to get it over with. It looks like we'll have plenty of time to get into the academy. Alright, so as always, gonna want our holy. And I think I'm gonna put it on this actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on this. Let's probably do the most damage. Oh, gotta make it nighttime, apologies. How much do we have for a level up? 26,000. Yeah, I'm gonna go level up really fast, you guys. Just take out these vulgar militiamen all the way up to the birds. Always recommend you do this too. Right before you're about to fight a really hard boss or go into a new dungeon and you're just like a couple thousand away from a level up, just stop what you're doing, come over here, and take out the vulgar militiamen up to the birds. And I recommend you go up to the birds so that you can get fight pinions. Because if you do this, you know, like 40 times, then there you go. You got at least 40 flight pinions, and if you take out all 3 of the birds, then it'll be even more. And then, of course, there's about 6 or 7 of them all the way up to the birds, so after you level up, you'll be left with enough to buy a few arrows and some supplies. I always recommend that you do that. Just go like 4,000 or 5,000 above your level up, just so you can buy some arrows and stuff like that. So, might as well talk about the Deathrite bird right now, save some time. It's just like the Death bird, has the same kind of poker, long weapon that it can reach you with, but it also has magic. It has wings that have a fiery frost, so it's fire, does fire damage and frost buildup, so very brutal, and it has magical attacks. So, it has 2 things it'll do. It'll create a ball of fire in front of it, and if you're too close to it, it will hit it and it'll explode in an explosion, doing like a AoE radius that will do some severe damage and some fire damage, and it will do frost buildup. Then, on top of that, it will, if you're too far away from it, when it creates that fireball in front of it, it'll instead hit it and it'll shoot out a bunch of flames at you, and you have to dodge it to the left or right. So next was endurance, I believe. No, but I'm gonna go with, yeah, I'm going to give a couple levels to my faith because I want to be able to use that spell as soon as I can. Just let me think. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do faith 2 times after this. But I digress. It also has some swooping attacks, and the fire will trail off of its blade when it does those. So you might take some fire damage, some frost damage. Then it also has a attack that it does usually when it's about 50% health. It'll shoot arrows out of its wings, and you have to, when you look at the ground, you'll see some light appear on the ground. That's where the arrows are going to land. You just have to make sure that you're nowhere near them. But the problem is that he will start attacking while those arrows are falling, so you got to dodge both of them at the same time. So it's a little tricky and a little annoying, but here we go. Let's get to it. Remember, even if you're not on the faith side of things, the Sacred Blade will still do a ton of damage to it. And it's nighttime already, so let's go go ahead and make a couple holy pots. Set off 4 will do. Okay. I'm always nervous fighting these guys. Especially because you get no summons for them. Just you and them. Go ahead and put on the turtle shield for a boost in stamina. Alright, let's buff up and then go in. Flask. Try and hit it with a holy pot as soon as it lands, and then do a sacred blade. And then we gotta start dodging. That's a good start. Okay, run away from this. It's an AoE explosion, but go ahead and hit him with a pot while he's doing it. And he's gonna... There's the one that shoots at you, because I wasn't close enough to him. Now he's gonna do a swooping slam. The holy will make quick work of him. So don't be ashamed if you struggle with that. We get a pretty cool spell. I think it scales with faith. Yes, scales with intelligence and faith, these rank core spells. So you gotta be a dual mage to really get full effect out of those. Alright, you guys, I'm done with that. Okay, so we have progressed all of the quest lines in the game to as far as we can at this point. We have taken out all of the caves and all of the open map bosses. And we've taken down all of the mausoleums. We've done all the ruins, everything we can up to this point. So our next progression is to go into the Academy, clear that out, and then clear out the Carian Manor. So let's get to it. Alright. Are at the Academy gate. So let's go grab this grace, and then we got an invader we gotta fight. I'm gonna take the holy off of this. Where you at there? So first, hop on Tauren. Actually, we got a gold seed we can grab. Get on down here. Nab it. You can't get over to that bridge. So don't even try. And then we'll come back over to that red sign that we just passed. So we're invading somebody else's world. We're the invader this time, but we are assisting somebody. We summoned to assist Yura. That's the samurai that was helping us fight the dragon and the other invader. So let's go help him out. Don't really need to buff. We just need to go in and start attacking the invader that he's fighting. For that, we get a rune arc. If you take out the host of a world when you invade, you get a rune arc, which is awesome. And very important, you gotta talk to him right here. Don't want to forget to talk to Yura, or else he can't progress his quest line. That's why he's making noises, is so they make sure that you know he's here.
Leave me be. Oh, it's you. Thanks for your help there. That bloody finger was a thorn in my side. And now I'm finally rid of him. Here's a token of thanks. Please, take it. I may not have much time. I'm dying to see you. Eleonora. Violet Bloody Finger. Yes, I've been tracking Eleonora for quite some time. She is the deadliest of all Bloody Fingers. She's felled many an old hand already, but in spite of her cessblood zealotry, Eleonora is a proud knight. If she comes for you, do not think twice. You must flee. There is no shame in self-preservation. Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again, if fate permits.
And that is as far as we can progress his quest line. So we're gonna run now and meet a merchant and fight a bloodhound knight. Just ignore the wolves. The wolves will have a tethering point that stops at the merchant. They won't follow you to the merchant. So just ignore them. But do grab the mushrooms on the way in. And here's our merchant. But before we talk to the merchant, I'm going to go down here just to get the wolves to de-aggro. So you see him up there hanging on the wall. So yeah, be ready to whoop some butt. We get a celestial dew. So if you've hurt any NPCs up to this point and you need to correct it, you can go to the Church of Vows and ask for forgiveness. And that it doesn't work for every single quest, and it doesn't work for every NPC. It works for some, but not all of them. So that's why we're not attacking NPCs in this game, because it might ruin quests.
Well, it's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help here at the end of the earth?
Alright, so we want these ashes, and then of course everything else that he sells, including the cookbook. I'm going to buy the cookbook first. And then he's got some notes that we'll purchase and read for you guys at a later time when we do the episode where we read through the item descriptions. And then he's got sleeping arrows. He's also got magic bolts, which are awesome. So if you're a intelligence build and you've been using the bolts, especially when we get the pulley crossbow, really awesome. And he's got some sleeping arrows that we're going to buy from him too. And then he has the warrior starting class armor set. But these we need for a puzzle later on in the game, so just make sure you buy those. And then what does he have left? Go ahead and buy the stone sword key and start buying his sleep arrows. Alright, good enough. Let's go on back up here, and we're just going to put a little thing down here to say that he's still got some items that we want to purchase. Let's go back to the main gate. So we're going to head in a little bit to the Academy. I'm just going to try and push to the first grace, but not going to fight any bosses in here or anything yet. We're just going to get it started, and then we'll pick it up and finish it in the next episode. Go ahead and stand on this big platform. Right as we come up, we're going to have some sorcerers. They're going to start hitting us with magic. So just dodge it and rush up and let them have it. They'll hit you with their books, so they got some melee too, so don't be comfortable getting too close to them. So the magic is strong in this place. And that's what we're going to be dealing with mostly. A lot of projectiles. And we got these marionette dolls in here that are going to drop down, so let's be careful and not aggro that guy yet. Go ahead and get some daggers on. Couple of them drop down over here. Alright, the wizard saw us. Should be a couple more marionettes. There it is. Oh, guess that's all. But if you come back over here, you're gonna see a ladder that we can drop down later for a shortcut. But if you come over here to this wall, hit it. Grab the rune arc. Grab this side of grace. Now this next area that we're going to go into, I'm not going to take everything out. I'm going to actually use Bloodhound Step to try and get through this area without fighting anything, because it's not worth it. They don't drop much runes, and they're really spongy. They have a ton of health, and they can grab you and drain your FP. So these zombies are super annoying. I'm going to recommend you have Bloodhound Step on a knife or something so that we can just dodge them, get out of the way, and grab the goodies that are there. We'll take out any dogs that we have to. But aside from that, we're just going to be trying to run through and grab items as fast as we can. So let's go ahead and get to it. Come right over here. Oh, all right. So a lot of these guys, they'll come out as a trap. They'll be waiting behind you. Oops. Wrong one. Dumb. So yeah, they'll be waiting behind corners like this. Oh, it's coming after me. Oh, like that. So that's the reason we got Bloodhound Step on. So we're just going to run, grab these items, and then take off. Just run past these guys. So you can hear them swiping for us, trying to grab us. There's one right there. That's what Bloodhound Step is for, just to get us out of these areas. There's a dog over here, so let's go ahead and take down the dog. But just ignore the zombies. There's some marionette soldiers up there. They're going to shoot arrows at us. It's fine. We're going to come over here and drop down. Come up and take out the marionette soldiers. Oh, shoot. Messed up. Do that again. Oh, he's going nuts. Yeah, wait till they're done spazzing out before you try and attack them. We'll grab these marionette soldier ashes. Come down this way. Oh. Punk. And so this will lead us back up to the first bridge, but it'll also lead us to an item. So go ahead and jump over here. There should be a guy. Yeah, see, he's waiting for us. We have come down the other way. Nope, nope, no item. Just leads us back over to here, so just run past all these guys. Oh my gosh. That was not cool. Oh, these guys are spazzing out. Oh, crap. Alright. Pull out the Bloodhound Step again. So we've got some more guys to get past. This is what I was thinking of. Okay, come down over here. My apologies. Like I said, I get areas mixed up. That's a big skeleton, so you want to get away from him as quick as you can. If he grabs you, he's going to do some serious damage to you. Come on over here. Should be an item down here. Grab that. And then up here will take us back. Alright, so that's the bridge that we just came from, and then up here we have like 4 or 5 dogs that we have to fight with zombies around us, so get ready to whoop some butt. I hate you guys. Oh, dang it. No! They fell off the edge. I'm gonna take advantage of that, just run through. So, this is why we're not fighting these guys. Just everything here is spongy, takes forever to kill them. There's an Ash of War over here guarded by some dogs. We're just gonna run for the Ash. Alright, we'll let the dog come up first. God, I hate you guys so much. Alright, sneak up on the Ash and give it a weapon art. There you go. Got Spectral Lance. Pretty cool Ash of War. Grab the gold rune, and then we are headed to the next grace. Just ignore everything else. Actually, there might be some foliage up here, yeah. Let me check up here real quick. Yeah, an item up here, some mushrooms. Oh, good lord. Game glitched. Apologies. There's a dog up here, I believe. Where are you at? Nope, okay. We got a Alabaster Lord, so let's go ahead and just run up and give him the business as quick as you can. If you want to parry him, you can. You can parry these guys pretty easily, but I'm just going to go ahead and try and get him out of here. Right out of stamina. Get Gravity Well. It's a, I believe it's a sorcery that pulls enemies into you. So, next part, there's 2 options. We can go down, which we're going to go down to grab some items from that cliff over there, or we're going to do it much, much later. Because if you go down just to that area right there, actually, no, we can't get back up. Okay, so we'll go grab that stuff real quick, but aside from that, if you go down any further than that, you don't jump off right there, then you're going to go all the way down to an Iron Virgin. And if that Iron Virgin kills you by eating you, it will take you to a completely different area of the game. And that's what Patches was telling us about with the Iron Maiden or Virgin, whatever it's called, that teleports you by eating you. So that's a possibility, and you don't want that to happen, because that might actually start a boss fight that we're not ready for in an area of the game that we want to clear out first before we go over there. So that's why I'm going to stay away from it for now, and I recommend you do too. We're not even going to go down to grab the other armor set. Let's go ahead and ignore that for now. But at some point in the game, I'm going to be like, alright, now we're ready to go into where that portal might take us, or where that Iron Maiden might take us. And once we're ready to go to that area, we will come back here and we will go down there. And we'll grab all the items that we are ignoring for now. So, promise you there's nothing groundbreaking in there that you need right now. So we're just going to ignore it so that there's not a possibility that you might get eaten by that thing and accidentally teleport into an area you're not ready for. So, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, we're just going to make our way up to the next boss, and then we're going to stop. I'm going to sit down just to heal up, and then it spawns this guy over here so we can go up and repost him real quick without aggroing his buddies. Okay. Those buddies are over there. We're just going to ignore them. I'm going to come down over here. Grab this. If you notice, there's books with bookshelves with books on them, and for some odd reason, there's one that has no books. Because it's a secret. Let's go ahead and roll through, grab this. Just put these on 4 and then jump over this railing. Da-da-da-da-da. And then over here. Now be careful, because there should be a ledge that we have to jump over, but it's kind of like hidden at an angle. You think you're safe, but you're not. So it's right here. So you think like, oh, I'm just going to walk forward, and then you'll drop it into that ledge right there. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to write a message right here. So when people come up here, they read this, be wary of item. In short, jumping. Oops. Messed that up. Sorry, 2 seconds. Nah, that's the one I wanted. Okay. So they'll be like, wait, jumping required ahead. And that'll cause them to come up and see the hole. So they know that they have to jump here. So that's the kind of messages I like to leave, just to help people out. Glintstone Crown. It increases your magic output, but also causes you to take like more damage, I believe, or it decreases your health. Totally not worth wearing. But it looks cool. Let's go ahead and fight these wizards. What we're going to do right now is we're going to aggro wizards. Actually, we're going to fight them with our bow, because there is a giant jar around the corner, and we want to take out the wizards first before the jar gets aggroed, so that way it doesn't come flying at us and we're trying to dodge a bunch of magic and everything at once. So let's go ahead and just take these guys down. Oh man, my lock broke. Wasn't letting me lock on. Couple more, one right there. One over here. Okay. Now we can safely just come in and start hitting the jar. Got some more wizards up there. Can't open this door, but we'll open it from the other side. Come on over here for a chest. Got a ritual pot. And then I'm gonna aggro this guy to pull him towards us because there's other wizards that we don't want to get in the mix yet. Now we can just run this way up here. Alright. So after you clear these guys out, should be an item over here. Grab this. Ooh, nice. Give me some robes. Alright, so here is the first boss of the Academy. But before we do that, we're going to come in here. Really nice sorcery there. Comet. Fortunately, it takes a lot of intelligence to be able to use it, though. climb up this ladder. We're gonna go grab a talisman. If you come through here, it looks like a dead end. But if you jump up, there's a hole down in here. Nothing right there. Drop down in here. Now there are some jars in here, so don't be surprised if they start attacking you and everything. Oh, and then you can stagger jars. I believe this increases the potency of your sorceries. And guys, I've been trying to find out what that means. The best I can guess is it just means it overall increases like their damage and the range, but every time I look up what potency exactly means, I can't find answers, even on the Wikipedia, so the Elden Ring Wikipedia. So the best answer I got for you guys is it just makes your sorceries better. That's it. So this is one of the most annoying fights in the game. This is the Red Wolf of Radagon. Now, this guy shoots magic, and he has the same, almost the same kind of attack patterns as a rune bear. It's a giant dog, and it will create a magical sword in its mouth that'll do large swooping attacks with. They're really, really fast. They do insane amounts of damage, and it creates magic that it'll shoot at you really fast. We just want to summon and have the summon distract it while we try and bleed it as quickly as we can. This boss fight is a nightmare, so do not be discouraged if you have to do this a few times. There's no Stake America around, so unfortunately, if you go down, you have to run all the way back up here through all the wizards and stuff like that. So, yep, we're going to buff up, and as soon as we go in, going to immediately summon Oleg here to try and distract the Red Wolf, and then we're going to try and get behind it and do some damage. Here we go. No time to buff Oleg. No time. Just buff yourself. Swipe. So it starts these magical things that'll shoot at you, and then it does the same kind of attack patterns and bites as the rune bears do. And then there's the sword with the big swipes that it does. Oh, shoot. Like I said, this magic will do some serious damage if it hits you. Oh, thank you, Oleg. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So don't be discouraged if you have some trouble with that fight. It is an absolute nightmare of a fight. You definitely want to have Oleg in to help you. Let's grab that Grace. That is the first boss of this Legacy Dungeon, and we're almost done. We just have one more section to clear out and one more boss to fight, and we're done with the Legacy Dungeon, which is just insane because Castle Stormvale was so big, I was convinced that the second one would be even bigger, and it was not. So there's nothing else in the debate parlor. Up there is an area we'll get to in the next episode. So gonna go ahead and end things here, you guys. We have made it into our second Legacy Dungeon. Took out the Red Wolf. Alright, got a little bit further than I expected. So next time we'll end things in the library and we'll take out our second Shard Bearer. We're also going to get our second whetstone. Well, actually I should say our third whetstone. It's going to allow us to put ice on our weapons. So we're getting things done, you guys. Moving right along. So thank you so much for choosing Level Up Pub Gaming as your guide to the Lands Between. It means the world to me. If you have any additional questions that I haven't answered in any of my videos yet, don't hesitate to ask. If I don't know the answer, I promise I will try and find you guys the answer. I'm not a big enough page that your questions are going to get buried, so please, please, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're a content creator, you know about this stuff and making walkthroughs, and you have some constructive criticism, please don't hesitate to let me know either. I'm always looking to learn from anybody that I can about how I can make this walkthrough better. You know, quality, sound, everything. So, but until the next time, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. I love you guys. I'll see you later.